on to the premolars. So permanent maxillary premolars, they are the anterior to the molars. They are developed from four lobes, and these permanent molars, they have the crowns are shorter than those of a maxillary canines. The crowns are little longer than those of a molar. So here are the pictures of maxillary first premolar and maxillary second premolar. The mandibular premolars, they are the first mandibular premolar, it develops from four lobes, while the second premolar, it develops from five lobes and three buccal and two lingual lobes. These are the pictures of mandibular first and mandibular second premolar. The arch trait of the premolars. Now we'll focus on to the important points of that is the difference between the arch trait is the difference between the maxillary and the mandibular premolar. Now here you can see the maxillary premolar, they develop from the four lobes, while the first premolar, they develop from four lobes and five lobes are for the second permanent premolar. Now the number of cusps here are 2, while the 2 cusps are there for the first premolar, and the second mandibular premolar show 2 or either 3 cusps. So number of roots in the first premolar, it has 2, and for second premolar it is single, while mandibular premolar shows usually 1 root. The crown form is almost, it is similar, while first and second premolars are the widely different in form. From the buccal aspect, you can see the first, you can see the maxillary premolars, they are more prominent, they have a more prominent buccal ridge and than the mandibular premolars. Now from lingual aspect, so the maxillary premolars, they show a marked lingual conversion, and this is not present especially in the second mandibular premolars. Now the proximal aspect or the or mesial or distal aspect where the cusp height. Here the buccal and the lingual cusp in the maxillary premolar, they are nearly of equal height, while in mandibular premolar the lingual cusp is much shorter and smaller than the first premolar. So the shape of the occlusal surface in maxillary premolar is ovoid and hexagonal, and that of mandibular is round and squarish. Now class traits of the premolars, they develop from, first thing they develop from four lobes except mandibular second premolar, which develops from five lobes. Secondly, they have 2 cusps, 1 buccal and 1 lingual, except mandibular second premolar, which are often carry the 3 cusps, that is 1 buccal and 2 lingual. They have a single root except maxillary first premolar, which is frequently bifurcated. There are broader contact area, and usually these contact areas are placed nearly at the same level. The marginal ridges are higher mesially than distally. Exception is the mandibular first premolar, where the mesial marginal ridge is placed a little toward the lower side. The buccolingual dimension is greater than the mesiodistal dimension. Now the type traits of the maxillary premolar, that is the difference between the first and the second premolar. So we will focus on the important point here. In the first premolar, from the buccal aspect, the buccal ridge is prominent. The second premolar, it is less prominent. Buccal surface is more convex in first, it is less convex in second, and slopes or ridges of buccal cusp, the mesial slope is longer than the distal, where the distal slope is longer. Lingually, the lingual cusp in first premolar is shorter and narrower than the buccal cusp, while the second premolar, it is of the same length and width as the buccal cusp. The lingual surface is less convex in first premolar and it is more convex in second premolar. The mesial aspect, which is very important, where the developmental depression, like the mesial developmental depression, it is found on the mesial surface of the crown, as well as a well-defined groove, developmental groove crossing the mesial marginal ridge, marginal groove is evident in first premolar. So no such developmental depression and no such developmental groove is seen in the second premolar. So occlusal aspect, shape of the first premolar is hexagonal. Here it is oval. Crown is more angular. It is more rounded, and central developmental groove shows the longer. It is shorter. The supplementary grooves in first premolar, they are not there, and therefore the occlusal surface is irregular. While in second premolar, it shows more supplementary grooves, and therefore it gives a more wrinkled appearance. The pulp canals are 2 and usually 1. So rest of the things, that is this tooth notation and chronology eruption. So it is 10 to 11, the first premolar erupts at 10 to 11 years and it erupts at 10 to 12 years. Now the type traits of the mandibular premolar, the difference between the first premolar and the second. So again, from the buccal aspect, the buccal ridge is more prominent in first premolar and it is less in second premolar. So form, it is bilaterally symmetrical first premolar. Second premolar is asymmetrical. In first premolar, the lingual cusp is of rudimentary, or it is smaller and non-functional than the buccal. And here in second premolar, the buccal cusp is nearly of buccal and lingual cusp, they are nearly equal. So the first premolar shows the marked lingual conversion of the crown, and here it is very little. So developmental grooves, the mesiolingual developmental groove is present and no mesiolingual developmental groove is there. From the proximal aspect, the lingual inclination crown, the first premolar is more lingually inclined, and lingual pit here, it is lingual pit is not so pronounced. So marginal ridges, where mesial marginal ridge is shorter than the distal, and both the marginal ridges are of same size. From the occlusal aspect, the first premolar is a diamond shape. Mandibular first fourth premolar is a diamond shape. Here it is a square shape. The cusps are two. Here 2 or 3. They develop from 4 lobes. They develop from 4 to 5 lobes. And transverse ridge is present in first, which is absent in second premolar. Now, occlusal groove pattern, there is no variability, while the second premolar shows the varies in occlusal pattern Y, U, and H. The mesial marginal ridge is shorter here, while the mesial and distal marginal ridges are equally well developed. Lingual pit is present, it is absent. Root here is shorter, it is slightly longer than the first. Now, the pulp canals, they are single in both the first and second premolar. So first premolar erupts at the age of 10 to 12 years. Here it erupts at the age of 11 to 12 years. Now the most important is the side identification. How to identify side, right or left? For the maxillary first premolar, two important points are: there is the presence of mesial marginal developmental groove on the mesial side, and secondly, deep developmental depression on the mesial surface of the root. These are the two important points for the side identification of first premolar maxillary. For maxillary second premolar, the distal slope or cusp ridge of this buccal cusp is longer than that of the mesial, and secondly, the developmental depressions on the distal surface of the root are seen. For the mandibular first premolar, the most important and unique characteristic is the presence of mesiolingual developmental groove on the lingual surface towards the mesial portion of the crown. So this is not evident in second. So mandibular second premolar shows the apical third of the root may show distal curvature, and in three cusp type, you can see the mesiolingual cusp is larger than the distal.
Whenever we talk about these structures, you should know what is present on the tooth surface. On the crown, on the what are the elevations and depressions which are present on the molar surfaces? Elevations like what are the cusps, the tubercle, the lobes. What type of ridges are present? Marginal ridges, mesial distal marginal ridges, buccal and lingual cusp ridges, triangular ridges of the cusp, oblique ridge, and the transverse ridge. Always, any tooth has got elevations and depressions. Depressions in the molars can be fossa, can be grooves, can be pits. Fossas can be central fossa, triangular fossa, distal mesial fossa. Grooves can be developmental grooves and supplemental grooves, and pits can be central pit, mesial, distal pit. Root portion, root trunk, furcation, and the apex. Now we talk about the class traits of molars. Their dimensions are greater in all aspects. They're largest, strongest of all teeth. They have large occlusal surface compared to other teeth. They have 3 to 5 major cusps. They're only teeth that have at least 2 buccal cusps and 2 to 3 large roots. Now there are set traits. There are a number of set traits. If you go back to your differences between decidus, prominent dentition, you can find most of the set traits. A few of them is that the first evidence of calcification for all molars in decidus teeth is in utero, whereas the first evidence of calcification for first molars is seen at birth. For second and third molars, it is after birth. And we know that the roots are longer, slender, they flared out for the successive teeth to develop in that area, whereas permanent molars, the roots do not flare out. Arch traits, maxillary and mandibular molars. Maxillary molars usually have 3 large cusps and a small cusp. 2 buccal, 2 lingual cusps usually have 3 roots, 2 buccal and 1 lingual. Whereas the mandibular molars, they have 4 large cusps and a 5th small cusp. They have 2 major buccal cusps, 1 present mesiobuccal, distal buccal, 2 major lingual cusps are of equal size, and they have 2 roots, that is 1 mesial and 1 distal. Apart from this, distal buccal cusp is joined to the mesiolingual cusp by the oblique ridge in the maxillary molars, where all the cusps are separated. As you can see in the picture, they are all separated by each other by the fissures. The crowns are wider buccolingually than mesiodistally, whereas in mandibular they are wider mesiodistally than buccolingually. The occlusal aspect is rhomboid or heart-shaped, whereas it is hexagonal or rectangular in the mandibular teeth. The mesial and distal outline are trapezoidal in maxillary, they are rhomboid in the mandibular teeth. There are a number of maxillary type traits, the differences between first, second, and third molars. Like how do they develop? First molar develops from 5 lobes. It is the largest tooth in the arch. The buccal cusp of equal height. The second molar develops from 4 lobes. It is smaller. The distal buccal cusp is the smallest. And third molars also develop from the 4 lobes. Cusp of carabali present in first molar. It is rhomboid in shape. Oblique ridge is prominent, whereas oblique ridge is smaller in the second molar. Cusp of carabali is absent, and the outline is more of a rhomboid shape. Whereas third molar is a triangular outline. Cusp of carabali is completely absent. Oblique ridge is visible. The roots are more stronger in the maxillary first molar. They are more or less to be fused in the second, and third molars they are often fused. Same way, even the mandibular molars have some differences. That is, mandibular first molar outline hexagonal, second molar rectangular, third molar is ovoid. The main occlusal groove pattern is Y-shaped in mandibular first molar. It is a plus pattern in the mandibular second molar, and the pattern is variable in mesiodistal. All of them are mostly mandibular first molar has 3 cusps, 5 cusps, 3 buccal and 2 lingual. There are 2 buccal grooves, whereas the mandibular second molar has got 4 cusps and 5 or 4 cusps being present in the mandibular third molar. The nasal root is broad in the first molar, and then it is mostly fused in the third molar. So what you should know whenever you want to study any tooth, you should know the nomenclature, the dental formula and tooth numbering system. You should know the chronological data. When has the initial calcification begun? When did the crown form? When did the tooth erupt? When is the root going to form completely? You should know the odontometric data of the tooth, which is important even for your carving. And you should know the set traits, the class traits of molars, the arch traits of molars, the type traits of molars, and the morphology of the tooth from all aspects. That is buccal aspect, lingual and the palatal aspect, nasal aspect, the distal aspect, and the occlusal aspect. All 5 aspects you should know the tooth, and about the pulp shape